Have you ever had that specific kind of Sunday night where you're laying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and you start doing bank account math in your head? You know the kind. You're calculating exactly how much is left after the mortgage or rent, subtracting the groceries, and wondering, honestly wondering, where the hell it all goes. It's like there's a leak in a pipe you can't see. You're working hard, you're disciplined, but you feel like you're just running on a treadmill that's slightly faster than your natural pace. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people seem to effortlessly build wealth, while others stay stuck in the same exhausting financial patterns for decades. It's a bit of an obsession, really. I've realized that most of us aren't actually bad with money. We're just misdiagnosing which stage of the game we're actually in. We try to use Stage 4 strategies with a Stage 1 bank account, and then we wonder why we're stressed. Today, I want to walk through the 5 stages of wealth. Most people, and I mean the vast majority, get stuck at Stage 2 or 3 and just stop. But if you can see the map, you can actually find the exit. Stage 1. The survival crawl. The first stage is what I call the survival crawl. This is the breath-holding phase. It's where your primary financial goal isn't an investment portfolio or a Tesla. It's literally just making sure the check doesn't bounce before Tuesday. Basically, in this stage, your labor is 100% tied to your existence. If you stop moving, the lights go out. I remember back in my early 20s, I'd be at the grocery store checkout line, and I'd feel this literal spike of adrenaline. Not the good kind. Just hoping the card would go through. It's a state of constant, low-grade fight or flight. The trap here is the poverty tax. When you're in Stage 1, everything is more expensive. You can't buy the bulk pack of toilet paper because you only have $5, so you buy the single roll, which costs twice as much per sheet. It's expensive to be broke. To get out of this, you don't need a crypto moonshot. You need a boring, aggressive margin. You have to find a way to make your output slightly higher than your input, even if it's by $50 a month. That $50 is your first piece of leverage. It's the first time you aren't just a slave to the next pay cycle. Stage 2. The stability plateau. Now, if you manage to bridge that gap, you hit Stage 2, stability. This is where most people actually spend their entire lives. You have a good job. You have health insurance. You might even have a little bit of a 401k growing somewhere in the background that you haven't looked at in 3 years. But here's the thing about stability. It's a plateau. It feels safe, so you stop climbing. You start lifestyle creeping. You get a raise, so you get a slightly nicer car. You get a bonus, so you upgrade the kitchen. Suddenly, you're earning $100,000 a year, but you still feel the same level of subtle anxiety you felt at $50,000 because your expenses rose to meet your income. I see this all the time. People think they've arrived because they aren't worried about the grocery bill anymore, but there's still one bad medical diagnosis or one corporate restructuring away from total collapse. The goal of Stage 2 isn't to live a better life, it's to buy your time back. It's about building that 6-month emergency fund. It's boring. It's not sexy. It doesn't make for a good Instagram story. But that fund is the walk-away money that gives you the power to say no to a toxic boss. Stage 3. The growth engine. This is where things get interesting, and where most people fall off the wagon. Stage 3 is the growth engine. This is the transition from working for money to having your money start doing some of the heavy lifting. Honestly, it's a weird psychological shift. We're taught from birth that hard work equals money. But in Stage 3, you realize that capital equals money. You start seeing your dollars as little soldiers you're sending out to war. Some won't come back, sure, but the ones that do bring friends. The mistake people make here is impatience. They want the engine to roar before they've even finished building the cylinders. They see a friend make a killing on a meme coin, and they dump their stability fund into it. Real wealth at this stage is built on the most boring word in the English language: compounding. It's the $500 a month into a total market index fund, month after month, year after year, while everyone else is buying the new iPhone. It feels like nothing is happening for a long time. It's like watching a glacier move. But then, one day, the glacier hits the ocean, and the scale of what you've built becomes terrifyingly obvious. Stage 4. Financial independence, the real pivot. Stage 4 is the one everyone talks about but few actually see. Financial independence. This is the crossover point where your investments generate enough passive income to cover your basic lifestyle. You'd think this is the finish line, right? But it's actually a huge psychological crisis for a lot of people. I've talked to folks who hit this stage, and they actually get depressed. Why? Because their entire identity for 20 years was the grinder. They were the person who worked hard. When you don't have to work to survive, you're suddenly forced to answer the question, who am I without my paycheck? In stage 4, your relationship with time changes. You stop asking, how much does this cost? And start asking, how much of my life will this cost? It's a stage of extreme editing. You start cutting out the noise. You realize that wealth isn't about having more, it's about needing less. It's the freedom to spend a Tuesday morning reading a book or taking a walk without checking your email. It's the first time you are truly biologically free since you were a child. Stage 5. Abundance and legacy. Finally, there's stage 5. Abundance. This is where the money becomes, well, almost abstract. It's no longer about you. It's about the impact you can have on your community, your family, or the world. Think about it this way. Stage 1 is about me. Stage 3 is about my future. Stage 5 is about them. It's where you start thinking about foundations, or putting your grandkids through college, or funding a local park. Most people never get here because they get trapped in the more cycle of stage 2 or 3. They think they need another million before they can be generous. But stage 5 is a mindset as much as a number. It's the realization that you have enough and that the excess is a tool for change. It's the quietest stage. There's no more boasting, no more proving anything to anyone. It's just peace. So, if you're sitting there, maybe still thinking about that bank account math, I want you to be honest with yourself. Which stage are you actually in? Not the stage you want to be in, or the one you're pretending to be in on social media, but the one you're actually living. If you're in the survival crawl, don't worry about legacy yet. Just focus on the margin. If you're in stability, stop buying things to impress people you don't even like. Wealth isn't a destination where you suddenly become a different person. It's just a series of rooms, and the doors only open if you're holding the right key. It takes time. It's frustrating. You'll probably feel like you're failing more often than you're winning. But the fact that you're even thinking about these stages puts you ahead of about 90% of the population. Keep your head down, build your margin, send your soldiers out to work. And eventually, you'll find that the ceiling you've been staring at on Sunday nights has been replaced by a much wider sky.